On July 11th, Corbin Carroll took Nathan Eovaldi deep for his 26th home run of the year. This batted ball had an exit velocity of 101.3 and a launch angle of 34 degrees. Later on in the same game, he hit another batted ball almost 2 miles an hour harder at 102.9 and 1 degree higher at 35 degrees, and this ball carried almost 40 feet further, yet fell harmlessly in front of the warning track for an out. Both of these batted balls were barrels, which by definition have an expected batting average of at least 500 and slug of at least 1500, based on exit velocity and launch angle. Barrel rate has been shown to better predict future home runs than any other stat. The obvious difference between these barrels is that one was hit straight down the line, where 340 feet is enough to get out, and the other was hit to dead center, where it would have to carry 407 feet. Barrels does not take into account spray angle, and of course this has a huge impact on the outcome of the batted ball, so it stands to reason that this could improve our ability to predict home runs. As someone like Isaac Paredes consistently outperforms mediocre barrel and hard hit rates and hits 20 to 30 home runs per full season by pulling his fly balls. Here I attempt to use a batter's batted ball distribution to see if spray angle can help us better predict future home runs than barrel rate. The short answer is it did not, but I'll share my code and show you some cool plots and insights I learned along the way. The first thing we'll need to do is get our data. So the first part of my code imports a file with one row for every plate appearance in completed seasons in the Statcast era, which is 2015 through 2024. And so this file will contain the exit velocity, launch angle, and other context information for each batted ball. I have already gotten this data, but I made another video on my channel showing how I did this. The next thing we need to do is calculate spray angle. First, we need to convert the HC underscore X and HC underscore Y columns to horizontal and vertical locations. I found this conversion on a Fangraphs article I'll link below, and then we can use these landing locations to calculate spray angle and plot them for inspection. The next major step is to categorize the spray angle of every batted ball into pull side, opposite field, or center. And this handles left and right-handed batters differently to account for handedness. This code takes a while to run, and once it's done, we can create an integer column describing whether each batted ball is a home run, print out the average launch angle of home runs by field, and now that we've accounted for batter handedness, we can calculate the distance that each batted ball is from the pull side foul pole. Before we go on, we can perform an inspection step and check how likely different combinations of exit velocity and launch angle are to result in home runs for each of the three fields we've categorized. Here's what all batted balls look like, and we can see that generally there is an optimal launch angle and more exit velocity is good. Looking just at pulled batted balls, most combinations are more likely to end up as a home run. Balls up the middle need to be hit harder to go out, and for the opposite field, we have less balls that are hit as hard, but again, we can have some lower velocities go out because of the shallower fence. The next major step is to add spray angle and make a plot using all three of these variables. I rounded spray angle to the nearest 10 degrees, so a ball straight down the pull side foul line would be 0, and then we have 10, 20, and so on, up to 90. And for each exit velocity, launch angle, and spray angle combination, we can calculate the probability of a batted ball being a home run and apply a smoothing function to even it out. So this graph is a bit hard to read, but the point is that it's doing what I want it to do. Here we can see that there's a trough in intermediate spray angles, which makes sense because we know that the center field fence is further away, so it takes harder hit ball and or a more perfect launch angle to hit the ball out there. I use this distribution to assess whether batted balls hit had a greater than 0, greater than 25, 50, 75, and 95% chance to be a home run. I then grouped by batter and year, downloaded a custom file from Baseball Savant with plate appearance and barrel information for each player and year, which I will link to down below, and merged this with my data frame. I then created new columns with the following season's home run and plate appearance totals for each player, filtered for rows where the current year and subsequent year had at least 300 plate appearances. I standardized each counting stat by number of plate appearances and then tested how well each current year stat related to a player's following year home run per plate appearance. Here we can see that the first two columns, the home run per plate appearance and barrels per plate appearance of the current season, were best associated with home runs per plate appearance of the following season. Next was the cumulative total of all player batted ball home run probabilities per plate appearance, followed by the number of 25, 50, 75, and 95% home run probability batted balls they had. Some of the lowest correlated variables were the number of non-zero home run batted balls, the difference from the optimal launch angle, and spray angle by itself. This makes sense because launch angle and spray angle by themselves without exit velocity are not telling us much, but all of these other home run probabilities I got from that 3D distribution model that had exit velocity, launch angle, and spray angle included, yet these are unable to better correlate with a player's next year home run performance than barrels. Although this is a correlation because I'm testing each variable separately, if I did run a regression, this ordering would not change. So the takeaway is that, at least using this approach, I wasn't able to incorporate spray angle and come up with something that could better predict home runs than barrel rate already does. That's all for this video. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe, and leave a comment down below with any questions.